Hi, this is Mike, and welcome to 5 Minutes of Fantasy Sports. So today I want to talk basketball, and I want to walk you through the process of using your IL Plus, if you have one, or your injured list. So for me right now in my league, if you take a look at the screen, if you're watching the video here, you can see I have Ben Simmons on my IL Plus. So Ben Simmons, it's been a weird year so far with him. I traded for him actually. I traded for him and Kemba Walker, and I gave up two decent players, Markin, who's been on the COVID list for a while, and also Neil Alexander Walker, who's having an okay year. I was hoping Kemba Walker would pick it up, but as you can see, he's 0 for 2 today. And Ben Simmons hasn't played a minute in an NBA game. So what I'd like to do, I think I'm going to get rid of Ben Simmons. So I'm going to walk you through the process. The nice thing about the IL Plus is you can switch out anyone who is injured or game time decision and put him or put him onto the list. I'm used to saying him or her, I guess. So for me, I'm trying to switch out Ben Simmons with Robert Williams, but I think I have to do it for tomorrow. That's the problem. So someone in my league dropped Michael Porter Jr., and I think he'll be a better use of my IL Plus than will be Ben Simmons. So let's see, you must move an open player to your IL spot. So I'll do that. Okay. So what I want to do then is get Ben Simmons off my IL Plus. So I did that by switching him to a bench spot and then putting Robert Williams, who's a game time decision, and didn't play yesterday. He's doubtful for today, so he qualifies for this IL Plus. And what that means is I can now drop Ben Simmons, and I can hopefully add another player very quickly and then swap them back out. So Michael Porter Jr., it sounds like he's dealing with back issues. He injured his back in November, and it's been hurting him ever since. So what I like to do to kind of see where players are at, click on the preseason rankings, and that shows you kind of where Yahoo thought they'd be at the beginning of the season, and then compare that to what they show on the screen to where they are today. So Michael Porter Jr. is currently the 207th ranked player, but he's still rostered in 94% of leagues. So that's another good one to use. If you click on rostered, and some of the stuff you can only do on the website, it's a little better than the phone app. So get yourself to a laptop or a desktop or a tablet or whatever. As long as you're not using the app and you're on the actual website. We did talk about that before, about how you can actually use the app. I think that was episode 2. The app's okay, but the website has more features. But you can always open your browser on your phone and you can go to the website as well. But at any rate, he's still rostered in 94% of leagues. So whoever gave up on him in my league, I'm not going to say anything bad about that person. But I would also maybe like to take advantage of that mistake. So I'll add Michael Porter Jr., click the little plus sign to add the player. And then I'm going to find Ben Simmons, and I'm going to drop him. All right, so it's possible tomorrow news comes out and says that Ben Simmons has been traded to the Celtics, and he starts, putting up double-doubles, triple-doubles every night. It's also possible Michael Porter Jr. comes back and scores 30. It's possible they're both out the rest of the season, right? You just sometimes you take a shot in the dark and try to see if you hit anything. And let's do it. All right, so I added Michael Porter Jr., dropped Ben Simmons, and now I'm going to look at my team for tomorrow. And I could even start Michael Porter Jr. if I want. I don't have a lot of players starting. But it's very easy to switch players in and out of your IL Plus if your league has one. It doesn't take a lot. And the other thing you can do, so my team for Sunday is all set, but my team for Monday, you can see some guys on the bench here. You do have to manually switch the guys on and off the IL Plus. So I'll put Michael Porter Jr. back on the IL Plus. And that'll give me a full roster again. But you'll notice this is also on the app, but on the website there's a Start Active Players button. If you click that, you start your players for the day. And then you can also click it again. There's a second button that says Start for the rest of the week. When you click that, it'll auto-fill in your lineup, and it puts everybody where you want them. So that's a nice little tool. If you're happy with your team, if you're happy with your matchup for the week, you can just use that button and you don't really have to check it for the rest of the week. I mean, you obviously will, right? But you don't have to. You know it's taken care of, and anyway, I wouldn't put out a daily podcast if I didn't check it every day. So anyway, that's my advice for today. Just went through the process of using the IL Plus, and hopefully Michael Porter Jr. is back soon. Hopefully Ben Simmons is too, just to make the league better. But that's all for today, and I'll see everyone tomorrow.